Oh, hello, and oopsie. Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm teacher Oakley, and once again, as I often do on Saturday, or at least my Saturday, I like to look at famous quotes. This is a class where we look at quotes from some kind of famous individual. We read them together and talk about them. I will attempt to clarify any idiomatic language or confusing vocabulary or cultural references or what have you. And then we can share opinions in English about what we think the person's trying to say in their quote, or we can debate what they're trying to say if we agree or disagree with their statement. Okie doke, let me welcome students to the class. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Likewise, nice to have you here. Hello, Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hello, teacher Oakley.
Michael, I thought of you when I decided to do this.
Why? Did you see my quote?
I did see your quote. I smiled. That gave me a little laugh, actually. I thought you would like it. That's all. Nothing. I just thought of you. That's it.
Yeah, he's an awesome. He's awesome.
Okay.
I mean, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
I mean, he's quite smart. If you listen to his what he's saying, he is not stupid at all. So
yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I tend to agree with that statement. He's smarter than I thought he was when I started exploring his quotes. I'll definitely say that.
You should have watched his like interviews. I mean, some kind of where he's speaking with someone, like conversation with someone. So he gives some good ideas. Yeah,
he is an idea guy. Definitely. Different weeks we look at philosophers, which are very ambiguous quotes, and they involve a lot of trying to figure out exactly what they mean. I think Michael nailed it here. Bill Gates is an idea guy, so we're going to be discussing ideas a lot today. Okay.
I left you some feedback on Verbling.
No. Okay, thanks.
Do you know there is a form like when we join a class, there is like you should rate a teacher and give a feedback. Do you know that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, I do that. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Araceli, hello.
Hi, how are you? Long time no see you.
Yeah, you're busy now because the school year is back in session.
Yes, and most of the days of the week I'm busy in the morning, and especially on Wednesdays and Thursdays I was free, and I don't know why, but when I look at your schedule, you didn't have classes on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know if this is bad luck or.
Yeah, I guess. Oh well, sorry about that, but hopefully I can pick some up in the future. Anyway, it's lovely to see you as always.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Alabek. Nice to see you again.
Hello again, teacher.
Hello again. I enjoyed our last class, so I'm glad you're here. And hello, Anatoly.
Hello.
Okay, always good to see you. Part of my weekend, Anatoly. Okie doke. Let's get started. Well, first of all, everybody knows who Bill Gates is, right? I mean, is there anybody who doesn't know who this gentleman is? Okay. All right, we all know Microsoft. What is Microsoft? Okay.
What's that?
What's that?
What are you using now?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Let's in that case, let's just jump right to it then. We don't need a lot of background. Okay. Bill Gates quotes. All right, let's get started. Michael, I'll let you start us off.
Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Yeah, I totally agree. It's so if you only have like success in your life, you would not be prepared for some difficulties at some point. So when you have lots of difficulties when you're younger, it's kind of easier to live.
Makes life easier later on, do you think?
Yeah, later on. It's yeah, for sure. For example, I have had some difficulties. Like, I would not say major difficulties, but some kind of difficulties. So nowadays, based on my experience, like I don't worry so much for the things. Like
Okay.
I'm laid back.
You're laid back. Good.
Yeah.
Nice phrase. Nice English. Arathili, do you agree with this statement?
Yes, yes, I completely agree with that. I've seen that by experience. For example, with some of my students, I was thinking of that because, you know, there are two different groups now because there is a group with students that take all their classes in English and they are really smart and very successful students, and there are other groups with the students that can't pass English exam and they have their class in Spanish. So they are I mean, okay, the first one, they are more smart, but they are completely different with their personalities because the ones who, you know, they are used to win and they think a lot of themselves. They are very, sometimes they are not nice at all. They think they're winners, but they are just, you know, 14-year-old, and they, what Michael said before, they didn't have that experience of fighting. I think they don't have, you know, resilience. They don't have to how to face difficulties in life, and it is something, it's a great lack in them. So sometimes many teachers comment the same thing. These kind of people, they have too much self-confidence, and it's not good for their attitude.
Okay, I like your use of the vocabulary word resilience. Yeah.
The opposite.
Yeah, to be resilient, to be able to bounce back with adversity when you're faced with adversity and be able to recover and continue. This is a very important quality. Right, and I do think you're getting at exactly what Bill Gates is saying here. Alabek.
Yes.
Hi, Alabek. I kind of slightly related, but slightly different. Resilience, confidence, these things have been brought up. Do you think that students who are successful, or anybody who's successful in the long run, not immediately, but in the long run, over time, somebody who has who fails at first and tries again, or someone who is successful right away, who has more confidence in the long run, do you think? Do you understand my question?
I understand partly.
Okay. 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 Over time, who is more confident to explore new ideas, to continue? Somebody who is successful always, or successful, who's been successful, or somebody who failed at first and then eventually maybe found success?
I think the more successful people are who can just do some thinking about some revolution ideas, and who can make them I mean that it's not good when someone only has an idea and he can make it and come alive. I think that the more successful is some person who can do both things.
Okay.
Because ideas is too much in our world, but we can't see any realization of that idea.
A realization. I like your phrase, Alabek. Make it come alive. Actually, that's great. And then you use realize your idea. Very good. Nice. Okay. Thank you. Let me welcome Wisla.
Hello.
Wisla. Is it Wisla or Wisla? I always forget. I'm sorry.
Vyacheslav.
What's that?
Vyacheslav.
Vyacheslav. Okay.
Yes.
Vyacheslav. Okay. Well, welcome to the class. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
And also, I'd like to welcome Ken. Hello, Ken.
Yes, hello. How are you?
Terrific, Ken. How are you?
Great.
Great. Happy to hear that. Okay. I'm gonna move on here. I'm gonna go to Anatoly.
Yes.
Anatoly, you read this next quote for us.
Okay. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important.
Okay. What do you think of that?
It could be advertisement for Verbling School because we have so many opportunities to study ourselves. We have lots of material in stuff in internet in English, but we prefer to study with a teacher, and I'm totally agree with that statement.
Yeah, that's very funny. Yeah, nice observation. Also, you know, here we all are. We're in this hangout. Once a week, the hangout has some new bells and some new technological bell or whistle they add. There's some new icon that does something. Pretty soon, I think Google's going to run out of room on the sides of the hangout for new little applications that they want to add. I have to be honest with you guys. I don't know what half those things do, and I just don't even care. I don't know. When I get a smartphone, I don't have a smartphone because I don't need a smartphone. Sometimes I think people get caught up in the technology and the bells and whistles rather than the actual what is the point to begin with. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Wisla.
Yes.
Hi. Well, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about technology being the ends to a means and not just the means? I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Being the means to an end, but not the end. I said that backwards. I'm sorry. Do you think young people think of technology as a tool, or do they think of it as the ultimate end?
Yes, I think that the young people think that the technology is only a tool, but only is a big issue because, for example, how today, through technology, we can connect from all the world, and if the for example, the teachers, for example, we can very easy way choose what we want. And during it, I can say, always very important because that gives the students the possibility. But on the end, it's the man who interesting or not, and the tools or not. That is why it's technology.
Okay. It's not even useful as a tool if it's not interesting for the student, is what you're saying. You cut out a little bit. I didn't quite catch everything. A little feedback as far as the English. Okay, you can communicate from all, you said communicate from all the world. Better to say from all over the world. People from all over the world can communicate. We usually use that phrase. And also, when you were giving me a contrasting point, the phrase is on the other hand. On the other hand. Okay. Okay, but I think I got the gist, the main point of your idea. All right. If technology is not even useful as a tool, if it's not engaging, you might say, especially for a student, for children, it has to be engaging, interesting. Okay.
And for teachers as well.
Oh yeah. Well, good point. That's right. I just stated there are tools here in the Hangout that I never use because I find them neither engaging or interesting. You're right. Good point. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ken. Ken? May I talk to you for a moment? Ken, are you there? Okay. Ken? No. Okay. Michael. Or actually, does anybody? Michael, can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Just checking. Sometimes I can't really tell.
Not the case.
Okay. Okay, well, I really wanted to ask everyone, does anybody have any other additional point they would like to make about this particular quote, or shall we move on? And a 1 and a 2.
For kids, yes. For adults, I think could be like money.
Money.
Money talks.
Oh. Motivating. You're keen on motivating.
Yeah, okay. Motivating learning, motivating doing something could be money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't really deny that. I can't deny that. I can't argue that point. Okay. Oh, I don't know about this next quote. This kind of freaks me out that Bill Gates said this. Okay. Maybe it's out of context. I don't know. Michael?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Go ahead and read this. Go ahead.
If you can't make it good, at least make it look good. If you can't make it good, at least make it look good. Well. I don't agree with that. I beg to differ.
Okay, nice phrase. I beg to differ. I was a little taken aback that Bill Gates would actually say this. Doesn't really seem like him, but I don't know. Or what I know of his personality. Araceli, how do you feel about this statement?
Yes, I was thinking a long time. Not now. Maybe they're better, but I think a long time ago, what make Microsoft Windows got all that success was not the, how good it was, because I remember I don't know, it was, yes, before they all had very bad operating systems. They were messing up a lot, and they weren't working properly, but they had a very nice interface. So everybody was using Windows, so they won the battle with the, with the looks, with the appearance there. Well, and it's not only the appearance, it's the, the usability of their products were really good, but I think they were not investing enough in making their products strong or failure proof, maybe. I don't know, because that was I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, but nowadays Microsoft maybe is not so famous for for this, but
Yeah.
I think their philosophy maybe it's in their company.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Yeah, okay. You're talking about reliable products. Also, a little feedback. You said 10 years ago. It was the issue was not real. Was with how it was, or you just get rid of that first was how it was or how it functioned. Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised, because it always seemed to me like Microsoft was more bland and straightforward as opposed to their competitors. I don't know, you guys remember the Apple computers that were like glowing red and green and yellow? I don't know. I remember that. I remember thinking, well, that's just show. But they were good. Not that Apple wasn't quality as well, but I remember thinking that just as a consumer, and I'm probably wrong, but I remember just thinking, wow, that's very showy. It's a little parade going on there. It looks good, but are they making it look that good because it doesn't work good? I don't know. It actually threw me off. It had a reverse psychological effect. For me, totally just talking about myself. Okay, Alibek, what do you think of this statement from Bill?
Yeah, I think that's a good statement, and yes, and it's very close to some kind of a marketing or business.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, because I think that Bill Gates said us that we should not stop working, and we should searching some new ideas in the product which was made by other people. It's really working here, because so many people thinking that they have new ideas, they can do a new product, but it's not true, because it's not easy. So why we can just update some new products, remake them, and just I think it's good point to get some money and to start some business. I think it's our reality, and we should pay attention to that.
Well, it is our reality, that's true. One English note, why we can do something. When you propose this is a rhetorical question you asked. But it doesn't matter. It still should keep the same structure, sentence structure in English as any question. So it should be, you should have said, why can we blah, 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 blah. All right. So you're still going to transverse the, or transpose, reverse the auxiliary or helper verb with the object we. All right. Actually, I notice people do that a lot. They're giving a rhetorical question, and so they try to use statement sentence structures. But really, it has to be still English sentence structure. So, okay. All right. Thanks. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Anatoly, what do you think of this statement here? If you can't make it good, at least make it look good.
It could be a motto for companies and or people who are selling something. But also I thought about the meaning. If we can change, we don't like something, for example, but we can change it. We need to change our attitude to that thing. And thinking about how it look good for somebody else, for example, if it doesn't work for you. Positive statement, maybe.
Okay. I just thinking. Okay, interesting. Does anybody have any other thoughts or ideas about this particular quote?
As you said, that good, last lesson, when I was in your last lesson, you said that good is like personal point of view, yeah? How did you say?
I said it was quite subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective, so for everyone it's subjective what is good. So if maybe for Bill Gates, good is like something 100%. What I mean that it's the highest quality, very, very, very something, the best thing, yeah. But and in this case, I agree with this, with his quote. If you can't make like 100%, make it at least at 80-90% of what you want to make.
Oh, okay. Well, I was focusing on, for me, when I read this, make it look good, I'm focusing in on the just appearance. So, like, you know, which I kind of disagree with. You know, I was a chef for many years, and I think about food a lot when I think about products and presentation and all that. I think about, okay, it tastes like crap, but at least it looks pretty. I don't know if I could go with that as a philosophy, as a chef, but that's looking at it from my subjective viewpoint. So anyway, let me welcome Grigors. Hey there. Hi, Grigors. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I watched the movie. I decided to, check your website, and you have this discussion, so I decided to join.
Okay, cool. Nice to have you with us. Alrighty. I'm going to come back to you, Grigors, in just a minute. I'm going to look at it.
It will be easy. It will be simple.
Okay. I want to talk to Wisław for a moment. Wisław? Wisław. Wisław.
Yes.
Sorry, I keep mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry. Okay, can you read this quote for us, please?
I think it's fair to say that personal computers have become the most empowering tool we've ever created. They are tools for communication, they are tools of creativity, and they can be shaped by their user.
User, that's better, yeah. Tools of creativity. Creativity.
Creativity.
That's better. Okay. All right. So, okay, here's Bill's his idea about personal computers. Do you agree with his ideas? Or can you add to it, or what do you think?
Yes, I agree with this quote because in one time, always computers are the most developed, on the high level developed. And this way we get
Okay.
the most important tool.
Well, an empowering tool.
Empowering tool.
I like how he says that. What was the most empowering tool before the computer? Interesting question.
I think. Yes.
Really? I think it was the pencil. That's just my idea.
Book, Auckland.
Book?
Yeah, books,
Yep.
books.
With a pencil, I can write a book.
But with a book, you can with a book you can create a pencil.
You can create a pencil.
Yep. If you read the right book, you would create a pencil.
Oh, it teach you how.
And not
to
only a pencil, but a computer you would create, theoretically speaking.
Theoretically speaking, yeah. I couldn't. Maybe you could, Michael, but I couldn't read a book and create a computer.
Me too.
Not if
Neither
my
do
life,
I.
Not if my life depended on it. Not a chance. Okay, Ken. What do you think of Bill's Bill's conception of personal computers and their place in the world?
Yeah, I think one difference between computer and electric device before the computer, we can arrange. We can. The computer is more complicated than other previous electric gadgets, so we can arrange how to use it, or we can create how to use it by making application or software, or user itself can arrange how to use computer a lot. That's what Bill Gates said.
Okay, you're focusing on this last phrase here, last clause, shaped by the user. Yeah, that's very interesting. Have you ever? Do you know anybody who does really weird things with their computer? I mean, just not normal, everyday things.
Not weird, but a big kind of thing. The kind of Vocaloid is very popular here, and kind of one maker or one inventor created a synthesized voice singer, and she actually became a famous star. Virtual. She's virtual, but he's a star. Yeah.
Wow.
She was the opening act of the Lady Gaga's American Tour after. And she got the #1 in the Japanese chart.
Okay. Yeah. I know a guy who has an intranet in his own house. Okay. So he has like a computer in his kitchen while he's making dinner, and he has a computer, and another one, a screen in his office, and another one in his bedroom, and the actual screen he suspends from the ceiling. And he has it all on voice commands, so he can wander around his house talking to his computer. Kind of freaked me out the first time.
That's cool.
It is cool. It is cool, but
kind of interaction happen between the computer and the humans, because that's both software, not only the professional producer, but also the ordinary people can let her sing.
Right, and I think that's the point.
In any language. So maybe that kind of thing. It kind of shape. We can shape up the computer.
Cool. Okay, Grigors. Does Bill Gates' concept of the computer's place in society match yours? Is there any... Grigors, are you there?
Okay. Okay, do you hear me right now?
Yep.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think that he made a good point, but it's nowadays, we don't really think about personal computers. We're thinking more about, many people think about mobile devices, and what is interesting, that he's speaking about how, how functional are personal computers, and when we think, for example, other things that like smartphones, or maybe good example was first version of iPad, it wasn't really a device which helps to make great things that Apple make it later. So sometimes with this kind of tools, sometimes it's not always, the functionality. Sometimes you are blocked by technological limits. And with the computer, there was the same story.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But I agree. I remember that you mentioned what was before the computer. I remember that I sometimes looking for the history of the computers because I'm quite get into it as a hobby. And I remember that people in the United States, what was their point of view about the computers. It made something like we have calculators, and next thing after calculators there will be computers.
Yeah.
Not really a pen. After pen there's a calculator, in the opinion of many people.
I remember that very, very well, and very, very personally. I remember getting a Texas Instrument calculator with every mathematical function known to man. Very it seemed at the time to be the most complex, complicated piece of machinery, piece of technology I could ever imagine. Little did I know. Yeah, and I also remember that this device really only was useful for me for 1 or 2 years, and then it became outdated. Anyway, yeah, interesting. Okay, does anybody else have anything they'd like to add, or can we move on and look at some more? Anybody? Okay.
Yes, I would like to add
Yeah.
that yes, I think he's speaking about the computers being very versatile. They are used for everything you need. So, for example, computers have changed the way we work, and computers also have changed the way we communicate. So they have changed life, and I also read that cell phones also have changed a lot the way we live, we work, and everything.
Yeah, I wonder when he said this. I don't know exactly when he said this. That would be a little interesting, I think.
In 89, I think.
89.
Like 95, maybe from 89 to 95 when Windows, first Windows appeared.
All right.
Commercial.
So before the advent of smartphones and all that. Well before. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, I mean Grigoris brings up some interesting points, and I actually think about things like wearables. I mean, the watches, the Google glasses, these kind of things you wear. I haven't tried any. I can't speak from personal experience, but I just wonder about how useful. What is the extent to these things that these things can be useful? I mean, I don't know. I'm not questioning it, but I don't think it's really been explored fully. But
it's the same as personal computer, but with less functionality. So basically, it has a little bit less functionality than personal computer, and it's wearable. You can wear whatever you want.
Right.
Well, that is not actually the thing, because we're thinking about the smartphones and tablets and watches that it could be, small screen, less functional. But actually, there's a concept, that working concept, that we maybe in next 1 or 2 years we will connect our smartphones to our TV and we'll be watching movies. Maybe we need just only a monitor, mouse and keyboard, and only computer that you have, that will be your smartphone, maybe your watch.
Ah, so instead of my bulky giant tower.
Yes.
Okay, and and maybe there would be public screens.
There's a company behind of this. In the UK, there's a Canonical. They actually try to make this thing.
I think I get the idea. Okay, very interesting.
Because right now there's a funny thing, because I see the computers that have 4-core processors, and I have in my house 2 computers which have 2-core processor, and still the new one, but 1-core processor. So if there will be a time that we will stop using normal computers, we are thinking, okay, I have a big screen, I have a keyboard and mouse, why can't I just hook up this smartphone, watch, or whatever I have, because it will be functional and have enough power to use the Microsoft Office or maybe many different applications.
Interesting. I just have to say, Araceli, would you use Google Glasses?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't tried that. I'm not so, but it's something. Maybe wearable technology, maybe it's going to have its place in market, because, for example, that you don't need a screen. It can change the way we operate. And I also think what Gregor said before. In the beginning, you thought a mobile phone that wouldn't make a lot of things because it's small, but now you can see you have a small computer in your pocket. And this is in the same way. Maybe now I don't know what Google Glass is able to do for you, but maybe in future it can replace almost everything that you are making with your phone, computer, or whatever. So there can be an evolution there in the way we use screens, and because you don't need a screen if you got this device.
Right. Or there are already applications that can make a screen anywhere. You can make a screen on the wall, or on a piece of glass, or anything. Okay. Anyway, cool stuff. Okay, Araceli, actually, since I'm talking to you, can you do me a favor and read the next quote here? This is interesting, I think.
Sure. The first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. The second is that automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency.
Inefficiency, same pronunciation. Yeah.
Inefficiency.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Wow. What do you think of that?
I don't know. Maybe you can always blame the computer. If nothing is working, nowadays it's very common to say, "Oh, the computers had a failure." It's not a failure for an organization, just the computers. But I don't know.
True. It is easy to pass blame to the computer or the network system working in a company. That's for sure. Okay, Anatoly.
Yes, I think he made a joke in that quote, but I also observed some examples of this statement in reality, when especially bureaucrats use technologies for hiding their on efficient methods of working.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, me too. I love a system working in a company where you have to, all you want to do is have access to an F file or something, a shared file, and you need access to it just to do your job. Something that really, once you have authorization or the password, seriously takes like, 30 seconds to actually do. But in order to get this access, you have to put in a written request with your manager, and your manager has to sign off on that and send it to the IT department, and the IT department is backlogged, so they're not going to be able to get to your request until 2 weeks from now. And so then they're going to have to schedule with you. They want to make sure you're at your desk so they can give you access, so they'll send you an email to start a scheduling process instead of just walking over to your desk, entering the password, and clicking enter. Wow, 10 seconds, done. So you need a file from some kind of shared source, and you can't get it for 3 weeks, but you need to do a report today for your boss. Love that. Not frustrating at all.
That's an old scheme what you described, like 5 years ago worked that, but nowadays you have Google Docs and you have Microsoft Docs like online, and if there is not like secretive information, if it's just operational information, companies store the things and you
in the cloud, in other words.
And you easily access.
Right. But even so, and that, nevertheless, you're right. I am describing something that happened to me several years ago, 5-6 years ago. You're absolutely correct. But even so, if you can password protect, and companies often password protect every little thing, and nevertheless. But anyway, that's just the idea. I'm just giving an example. That I agree with Anatoly. If it's an inefficient system, it just makes it even worse. So I agree with this. Michael, what do you think? I mean, what do you think of this? I think he is trying to be funny a little bit, but it is funny, as most things are, because it's a bit true, in my opinion. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I think automation. What does he mean by an efficient operation?
Inefficient here?
Operation.
Well,
efficient operation.
To me, he's talking about business process, and the way that you do things, the procedure, or all of the procedures and how they co-connect and how they work together. If you have an efficient business, obviously, it takes less time and less money to actually do what you need to do, whatever that is, providing a service or making a product or what have you.
Okay. Well, I agree with him because I worked in different companies, and from my experience, multinational companies or international companies that works on an international level, it's easier to work there in terms that your work is very clearly defined. You do not do anything more than you are expected to do, and you are not bored. I mean, not tired. But in like small companies where they have inefficient operation. What I mean, there's lots of room for improvement. So basically, I was struggling in those companies. I was working for other people. I was trying to to agree with other people on some things, and that was not easy because the companies were starting to work only, and they didn't have any efficient operations.
Yeah. Well, there's absolutely no question for those anybody here who's worked in a startup company, there are magnified challenges because of inefficiency, because they don't know what they're doing yet. I mean, really, you have to be patient to work in a startup. That's for sure. Okay, let me talk to Ken here. Ken?
Yes.
Anything to add to this last quote?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Kind of automation of the business. Sometimes, for example, email is very useful, but because of the email, the worker checks email a lot. Some workers have to check the email 1 or 2 hours before start working. Maybe the concept of email is automatic mail.
Yeah.
Snail mail is useful, but it sometimes increase the work. Or some software or password kind of thing. Nowadays, pretty complicated. We need to solve the problem, which didn't happen in the past before the automation kind of computer era time.
Yeah, I know, and I know what you mean about email. There are efficient and inefficient email systems.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Okay. Okay. What do you think of this next quote, Ken? Can you read this?
Okay. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning.
Well,
yeah,
what do you think?
Some other kind of CEO people, say the same thing actually. That means you need to listen to your customers' complaints, and you can find new idea or to develop your stuff, your goods among them. Maybe some customers complain that it's not useful, but maybe be careful. You might find the excellent idea among these.
Yeah, makes me curious. I wonder, with tech companies, Apple, Microsoft, Google, etc. I wonder if there is a pipeline or a process or some kind of business strategy they have that connects customer service with product development or R&D, research and development. I mean, I don't know. I wonder. Yes?
I think that what I observed is that these companies usually they try to focus on solving the problems which are controversial amongst large group of users. Because, for example, if you look at the Apple, it always we think that this will be a brand new operating system. But if you look under the hood, you will see that most of the stuff is quite old. And sometimes you will see some bloggers who, mourn about this all the time, that this program, this application under this operating are such old and nobody cares because people just look at how it looks, maybe look at a couple of useful applications. So I think all of the things they try to do, they don't try to be controversial, they try to just make things in the right way, that they're more thinking about the profit. They don't really focus on the details.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And a little comment on your English, which I liked. You said when you said you look under the cover. Okay. I just wanted to
under the hood.
There it is. Oh, you know it. You do know it. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. There's an idiom, and you look under the hood. It refers to opening up the car and looking at the engine, opening up the the front of the car and looking at the engine. So we use this idiom. Grigor's used it perfectly correctly here. Okay, if you look under the hood, you can see that all the old hardware is pretty much the same as it has been. Okay. So
it's not really about the hardware, because I don't know if you know it, but for example, Microsoft didn't release too much source code for their operating system, but Apple released the basics, the whole foundation of the operating system in the Mac computers. It's completely free. You can download, and you can touch what they did.
Okay, all right. Okay. Last thought, because we've only got a minute left. The internet is becoming, he said this a long time ago, the town square for the global village of tomorrow. And, okay. The internet is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow. And guess what? There's a riot in the square.
What's town square?
The center part of the town. In traditional European societies, often it was actually square. Maybe there's a fountain in the middle or some such thing. Often a gathering place. Okay. Okay. All right. This is quaint and cute and okay. Thank you, Bill. But now, seriously, sometimes I wonder if the internet is the town square and there's now a riot in the town square. Okay, that's just me. I'll leave you with that thought. Okay, but unfortunately, time's short, and I have to get going because I've got another class to open up. But thank you, everyone, for joining me and talking a little bit about Bill Gates quotes. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys all again real soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.